Hello everybody, welcome back to Disco. I'm Orange, and today I'm looking at the design preview for Skull Merchant. So if you didn't know, recently, oh god, there's one, Future Plans and Updated Trickster, and they were just talking about like what is a design preview because they did one last year, apparently. I forgot they did a design preview thing. It was for Trickster, and it says after working through your feedback, we decided to move a different direction from what we had outlined rather than simply revert past changes. We think there's an opportunity to lean into his theming and to offer gameplay changes where Trickster remains, while also providing something exciting new for folks who have been on the fence about giving it a try. While we don't have a timeline to share regarding a Trickster rework right now, we'll be back when the time is right. And then they said they're going to do a Skull Merchant preview, which is here now. And then they're saying that like they're going to make it clear how they're using the feedback from these kind of things. And it's kind of like a preview of like what they want to do. So like before they make a rework or like a change to a killer, they're gonna do these things where they tell everyone like, hey, this is what we're planning. What are your thoughts? So that, if people are like, hey, maybe don't do that, like ultra mega hyper buffing twins, people can be like, yeah, maybe don't do that. It was fun, for people to try out. I didn't get to try it out because I wasn't able to at the time. But it seemed kind of crazy, so but it's ideal for that to generally be less of a thing. Or whatever. So today they just came out with the one for Skull Merchant. So, and I saw, I kind of quickly went down and I saw some things that looked really funny. So this is going to be kind of fun. All right, today we want to dig into a topic that we know many of you have been yearning to know more about. We sure have, because you absolutely gutted her. Like, they made her heinously bad. Like, the worst killer in the game. Like, she basically doesn't have a power. Like, oh, man. I don't know why. Well, no, I know why. But I wish they still didn't, but oh well. Because basically, for those who don't know, the last major change to Skull Merchant was a just insane, just mega nerf. Like, basically everything. Like, I think some things maybe got like tiny buffs. It doesn't matter. It does not matter. They made her awful, genuinely awful. Because people were like, even like before that, like she wasn't like she already gone through like multiple changes and I think even a rework technically or whatever. But even like through all of those, people were still complaining, and a lot of people kind of thought she was still the way she was in the beginning. I don't know why, but well, because they just didn't play enough against her as her, so they just didn't think she. It's fair, but kind of sucks. But yeah, people were still complaining about her, and she's still getting a decent amount of kills, a lot of kills apparently, which I guess. And so to make people just shut up, so they had time to just focus on working on her like current next rework, which is basically going to be outlined here, more or less. They're just like, you know what? We're just gonna nerf her, just straight down to hell. So people will just shut up about Skull Merchant, so that we can just work on the stupid thing. Work on the stupid killer. Just which fair. I would have preferred that you didn't absolutely gut her in the meantime and to Oi working on her. Because, like, again, I get it. But, dude, like, people played her, and people still play her now. God have mercy on their souls. And also, they, like people also, again, bought the chapter. People bought Skull Merchant. People used their hard-earned shards to buy Skull Merchant. And gutting her and just leaving her like that intentionally. Because I haven't read it because they did that deliberately, not to just balance her in general, but to just make less people play her and do well as her, so that less people complain, so that they can just focus on reworking her. And they they just, it was just a slap in the face to anyone who bought her, which includes me, because I've bought every chapter, minus Houndmaster, but I plan to get to that eventually, because I got it Houndmaster with shards and whatever, not important. Anyways, so yeah, that's the whole story. Anyways, I'm sorry, I'm rambling. You need to you need to know more about our vision for the future of Skull Merchant. Reevaluating the Skull Merchant. We know that the Skull Merchant is a divisive killer. Yeah, who, regardless of her performance on a trial, carries a lot of history and strong feelings among players. Yes. Many players feel she's not fun to play against, and her kit is exceedingly complex. Yeah, I mean, it's not. I don't know if she's like the most complex. I mean, she's not super duper simple necessarily. Anyways, this scares away potential killers from trying her. It makes it difficult for survivors to consider counterplay without dedicated research. Also, scares away potential killers from trying her. Part of that right now is also the fact that she sucks because you gutted her. So that doesn't exactly help either, but they know. You know, they did this intentionally, so they're aware. As we look to reworking Skull Merchant, our aim is to strike a balance between being fun to play as and against, which I think they should do always, period. Like, that's like the golden balance. Making a killer fun to play as, but also to play against, right? And not one or the other, because if it's only fun to play as, then yeah, you'll have a lot of people playing as them, but a lot of people upset and complaining like, oh, I hate playing against this killer. You know, but if it's the opposite, you know, survivors enjoy playing against them, but it's not that fun to play as the killer, then a lot less people are going to want to play the killer because they're not fun to play as. So if you don't check the balance, you know, there's either going to be not enough people playing certain killers or too many people playing certain killers according to the other people, you know, survivors. So, you know, that should be just the case, period, right? Preserve the intel focus of her kit. Like intel? Is that while making it intuitive to understand for both sides. Okay. Move away from a passive power with limited player interactions and embrace a more active playstyle while ensuring her power is compensated in interesting ways. Ooh. Okay. The first thing that makes me think of is Freddy, right? Because like before he got reworked recently, like he wasn't that active. Like, yeah, I made a video even if you haven't seen it, where I call it like the duality of Freddy, the Krueger experiment. It's just like a fancy, fun name. I decided it's not that serious. I just played one match in the PTB at the time, and one match in the live servers of what was the current Freddy, which now is the PTB Freddy, with changes obviously, but you know. And going from the PTB Freddy with like, you know, the projectile snares and the dream pellets and like the generally better teleports and whatever, to current Freddy, like the, you know, Freddy that we had, where all you could do is just slowly place down these like snare traps, and otherwise that was basically it, and every now and then you could teleport, and that was it, you know. And yeah, it just, if you could tell, like he was like Freddy used to be a lot less interactive and like active. You know, all you could do is like teleport around and then like place down snares and where you're chasing. Maybe even like preemptively place some, maybe. Or if you have dream pellets, you know, place those just around. But they weren't that useful anyway, so it's like, that was basically it. You know, like he couldn't really do much. Like in Chase, he was basically just an M1 killer. Basically. But now he has like this projectile snare, which alone does so much, and you always also have access to the pallets, which makes you have to like think about like, do you want to use snares or pallets like during a chase or whatever, like, you can like add some brain power, and the teleport is, great. And so if they do something like that for Skull Merchant where like, she can like do a bit more in chase, that's like fun and exciting. Yeah. Okay, those last 2 points may be particularly difficult to hear for long-time Skull Merchant mains. Honestly, I'm not like I wouldn't consider myself a Skull Merchant main, but I enjoyed her, But honestly, like, I'm fine with them changing her. She wasn't my favorite, power-wise, before they gutted her. But again, whatever. But we feel it's important to be clear about our intentions here. While the future we envision for Skull Merchant is quite different from her previous iterations, we feel this rework brings some exciting new tools of Torment. Tools of Torment to the table. That's fun. That's the name of the chapter for you if you didn't know. Drones 2.0. Also, I feel like reworking her power makes sense because, like, her power from the get-go, like, every iteration was just kind of, like, funky, It just always felt kind of, like, like, not bad, but kind of just, like, eh. Oh my god. Okay, hold on. There's also an animation I saw, so I can't wait for that. Sorry. Drones 2.0. Skull Merchant can deploy a stealth drone. She carries a total of 5, which scans its immediate vicinity, provides intel back to her. Okay, so kind of like her current drones now. Okay. After a short activation period, the drone gives us subtle audio and visual indications of the area being scanned. Okay, kind of like how it is currently. Revealing any survivors on the radar who are caught by its 2 rotating detection zones. So, basically, what she had before she got gutted. Because, one of her nerfs when she got gutted was like removing one of her scan lines, and the scan lines are like basically like these, right? Well, it was bigger, but like it was like bam, bam, and then during her latest version, they're just like cut that, just that, which sucks. Okay. So, importantly, we've slowed the rotation speed slightly and toned down the visual intensity of these zones. Fair. Removing the large scan lines to replace them with something more subtle. Namely, you'll see the direction of each detection zone as they rotate, but the detection zone itself is invisible. Okay, so instead of seeing like the whole zone and the scan lines, it'll just be like it'll just be the scan lines, and then, okay. This gives survivors an impression of the space that's being actively scanned, but requires them to proceed cautiously. Yeah, so that's cool. So it's like, because before, like, like this length is basically what the scan lines were before, period, and you could see that as Skull Merchant and Survivor. But now they're making it so that you can see some of it, but then the rest of it you can't see, and then like the kind of circle around it is invisible instead of extremely visible. At least that's Survivor. Okay. Well, we know they had their supporters. The original scanlines were visually loud and often clashed with the rest of the game's look and feel. Yeah. The intent here is to strike a balance between giving survivors just enough info to assess the threat, a subtle rotating field of detection, without that threat overwhelming the space and feeling incongruous to Dead by Daylight's visual identity. Drone control. Okay. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay. Oh my god. We'll get to that. We'll get to that. Oh my god. It's amazing. Sorry. I'm sorry. Hold on. Okay, I'm sorry. Once a stealth drone has been active for a short period, Skull Merchant can choose to take control of drones from a distance? Ooh! Kind of like Victor, in a sense. Or almost kind of like the biopods, the cameras, if you will, for Singularity. Except with those, like you just place them down in like somewhere. You place them somewhere, and then you can just look through them. And if you see Survivor, you can either like give them a slipstream, or you can just teleport to them if they already have one. Obviously, it's different than that, but it's kind of like that, and also like Victor, where you can actually control it. That sounds awesome. During this time, she becomes undetectable. Wow, that is like twins. As her controlled drone becomes the primary threat. So does it get like do they get like a tear radius? Probably not, because Victor doesn't. But probably not. These stealth drones move slightly faster than her base movement speed and consume a new resource, power. Oh, unique to each drone while being controlled. Each unique drone. Because they mentioned that these, which are normally the drones, right? Like, right? But they specifically said can destroy stealth drone in Securities 5, right? A stealth drone. That, to me, implies that there are multiple drones, especially because with this, they said, they consume a power resource unique to each drone, which could also mean for every drone you have, of these drones, like it's like they don't all share the same power. But I'm really hoping that they mean like there's different drones. There's the stealth drone, and then there's new ones. We'll see. So it's faster than base movement speed, which is also like Victor and twins. So honestly, fine. I don't play twins that often, but I think having that as an additional thing is honestly good for her. So yeah, we'll see. Power unique to each drone while being controlled. Power is consumed slowly as the controlled drone idles, and slightly more is consumed while moving. Skull Merchant is also able to use a burst of this power to activate drone propulsion. This charge power sends the drone flying forward at high speed relative to how long it was charged. Bonk. Put simply, stealth drone go burr. Bonk. Behavior, please do this more. I'm begging you. Please do this more. This is hilarious. Oh my god. Okay. Hitting a survivor with drone propulsion causes them to lose a health state. If you hit a survivor or collide with an object during this action, the drone will be destroyed and return control to Skull Merchant. So basically, it just like goes, and then it just explodes. You're just as a survivor, you're just walking around, and you just like you're just get assaulted by a drone, and it just combusts or just implodes when it hits you. These new stealth drones, we want to give players something that feels familiar, using drones to gather intel, but also opens the door for unique skill expression opportunities. Repositioning drones and propulsion skill shots, using technology to hunter prey is core to Skull Merchant's identity, and so it's important that we stay true to that. We have opted to remove many of the background effects: hindered, haste, lock on, claw trap. Okay, that's fair. That were previously tied to these drones, though. Rather than doing a little bit of everything with the drones under layers of complexity, we want their use cases to be clear to killers and survivors alike, on the fly. Basically, if they're static, they're likely scanning for survivors. If they're moving, they're a collision hazard. Honestly, cannot complain. Drone hacking. Oh. That, interesting. Okay, hold on. Drone hacking. Like drones themselves, drone hacking returns with a greater degree of risk and reward. Okay, because before, like, you just get like a claw trap mainly, right? Or at least an 8 iteration. Like before, drones can be disabled by survivors by inputting a series of button presses while close. If a drone is disabled, Skull Merchant's aura is revealed to that survivor. Whoa. Oh, wow. If you disable a drone, you see the aura of Skull Merchant herself. Huh. You know, that's fair because it gives them a reason, a solid reason to mess with their drones other than just avoiding them. Well, and sometimes if you put it around a gen, then there's that. But you know, so what's the if it's failed? The hack has failed. They are revealed by Killer Instinct and are prevented from another attempt for a short period. Yeah, that's fair. So if you succeed at like hacking a drone, then that drone's disabled and you see the aura of Skull Merchant. But if you fail, then you get revealed and Skull Merchant knows where you are. And you can't try again for a bit. The intention here is to introduce a greater degree of attention to hacking, while offering a clear way for survivors to interact with Skull Merchant's kit in a meaningful way. The intel reward is greater than before, but the risk of being revealed is more impactful. With intel at the center of this tension on both sides, we hope it makes this interaction easily digestible by players. Honestly, I like how they're leaning into the intels thing, you know, and like messing with the drones more. Because I know people wanted for a long time to do more than just placing the drones. And that's basically it. Like originally, like you could activate them because eventually they would deactivate like automatically, and eventually they give you the ability to like rotate them. Which, I don't know. It's better. I guess it's better than not having it, but like I never really care too much. But God, I'm still looking at that. So yeah, red light, green light. In addition to our drones, Skull Merchant has another power. Yes, this is what I wanted. It might not be more like drones or like other things, but like just having more stuff, like you know, like Freddy. Like I mean, obviously he already had the dream pallets, but you know, they just like gave us both the snares and pallets always at the same time, on top of the teleporting to gens, right? Red light, green light. In addition to her drones, Skull Merchant has another power that ties into her radar. While the name is currently to be determined, let's refer to it as a global detection power. I like that, the red light, green light. Once this power is charged and activated, a global warning plays for all survivors. Charged and activated, so kind of like charging up like a power, kind of like Doctor or like Freddy or something, or like one of the Chainsaw Boys. Is that what I'm understanding? For a short period afterwards, any survivors who actively sprints is revealed on her radar. Oh. Oh. Interesting. If, of course, crouching, standing, and standing still and hiding in lockers all prevent detection. What about, I'm assuming, walking as well? Because it says players who actively sprint are revealed. So I'm assuming walking also counts. Or maybe, I don't know. Added to the intel provided by stealth drones around the map, this should help ensure killers are easily able to keep tabs on survivors' movements. Yeah, that'd be nice, because, like, I feel like before, especially currently, but even before, like, actually being able to, like, track survivors with the radar and, like, whatever was, like, kind of hard. Because the two ways you could track survivors was, A, if they were inside the range of an active drone, or if they had a claw trap where you could always track them. But those were few and far between most matches. So, yeah. All right. In line with our rationale above, we want survivors to have a clear understanding of what's happening when they face Skull Merchant. Where the overlapping timers and status effects of Skull Merchant's previous kit often obscured what the expected result of an encounter might be, structuring this power around a well-known game, red light, green light, provides a clear and readable threat, a clear benefit for the killer, and a clear path for survivors to try and overcome it. Tentative release. Okay. We are currently evaluating a timeline for Skull Merchant's rework, but do envision it being quite far out as our primary focus is on driving quality of life updates. Once we have a timeline to share, we'll be sure to keep you informed via future design preview updates. Phew, that was a lot. How do you feel about this rework? Want to hear from you? Jump into our survey and share your thoughts right here. See you in the fog, Dead by Daylight team. So, honestly, I think this is pretty good. Um, I really, really, really like how their main focus is trying to make things much simpler, clearer, and easier to understand for survivors and killers. Because yeah, before there was a lot, you know, because what are they? Yeah, because like especially in like her last iteration before she got gutted, or last couple, you know, she gave like she like with the drones, she could hinder survivors, give her self haste, and then there's the lock on, and then there's the claw traps, and it was a lot, and it wasn't simple, and it was just like a lot of like I said, a lot of small things, um, like just it was a mess, you know. It was kind of overwhelming for both sides and just kind of confusing, and so yeah, having like them intentionally making sure that like things are less confusing and again easier to understand um for both sides, and the intentions are clear for both sides, like you know what happens when Skull Merchant has a drone placed, what happens when she's controlling a drone, um what happens when she does the red light green light, um what happens when as a survivor you like hack a drone, whether you fail or succeed, like with like they're making it intentionally clear like what happens, right? If you see a drone, you're there's gonna be intel from that, right? Like you're gonna know like, okay, there's a drone here, she's gonna know like where I am. If I hack it, if I succeed, I'll see her aura. But if I fail, she'll, I'll get detected, like, I'll get revealed. And then like, oh, she's controlling a drone. Okay, so she's gonna try and hit me, so I have to run away. Um, oh, I heard the red light, green light sound. I have to make sure I don't run or walk. Maybe I'm not sure. You have to be careful so she doesn't see me on a radar. Um, you know, and yeah, I really, really appreciate it. And having her be simpler is just really nice in general. You know, because now you play some of these bad boys, and they gave you info, and then you can control them, and drive them around and hit people, and then you can try and like see people on your radar if they run around during your your global warning thingy, and then survivors fail hacks, then they get revealed and you can see them, but if they succeed and they get to see your aura, which I'm sure you don't know about, but that is the case. But yeah, honestly, I can't think of any complaint. I think those are really, really good changes. And yeah, and like I said, it's not going to be anytime soon that we even get like a PTB. And I'm sure that they haven't. I'm sure they've started coding and doing stuff, but I'm sure they have a long ways to go before there's even a playable version of this. But I'm excited. Uh, Hopefully the PTB that goes well whenever that happens, right? I love this stick, man. So yeah, overall, really excited about these changes. I think they'll be pretty good, all things considered, and definitely will make her a lot, a lot better, a lot easier to understand for both sides, a lot more fun for both sides, honestly. Um, and just overall good for the game and good for Skull Merchant because my God, she needs what she can get so bad. She needs some proper love. So I'm excited about this. So yeah, that's about it. Um, Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Uh, what do you think about this? And if you're excited about it yourself, or not, you know. And if you're, any Skull Merchant mains watching, you know, let me know what you think. Do you think these are good changes? Do you think they're not so good? You know, or even if you're not a Skull Merchant main, still feel free to let me know what you think. So yeah. Please make sure to like, comment, subscribe. It means a lot to us. It really helps us out a lot. And, it means a lot. Hope you guys have a lovely and fantastic day. I hope to see you in the next video. Bye bye.